Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Performance in Motion with your host, Dr. Deniz.
Well, folks, we got a show for you today. I am joined by two amazing gentlemen. On my right is Dr. Ken Blanchard, who is the leadership expert, has written over 60 books. Many have been #1 New York Times bestsellers. And I'm also joined by pastor and leadership and kindness expert, Dr. Neal Nybo. How are you, gentlemen?
Great. Good to see you.
Couldn't be better. Life is a very special occasion.
Absolutely.
Even when we're with you.
Oh, compliments will get you everywhere. It's such an honor to have you both here today, gentlemen. And we have a great audience that really can learn tremendous information from both of you today. Again, performance in life. Now, Ken, I was just wondering, how did you get into the leadership business?
Well, my dad retired as an admiral in the Navy, and he was really kind of my model. And I won the president of the 7th grade in New Rochelle, New York, and I came home all pumped up. And he said, well, I guess your leadership training will begin now. He said, Ken, now that you're president, don't ever use your position. He said great leaders are great because people respect and trust them, not because they have power. And he said it's a myth in the military, it's my way or the highway. He said if you acted like that in battle, your men would shoot you before the enemy. And so he said I was never anything without my chiefs, and that really began my whole interest in leadership.
Wow. So when you were in college, did that prepare you for this path that you've taken?
Yeah, I was fortunate to be elected president of the schools and things like that, and I was ran at Cornell. And my freshman year, I lost my first election. Wonderful guy, Eddie Furtick from White Plains, but I stayed active. I was on the student government, president of the junior class, and just was always interested in how I could help people have fun and accomplish goals. That was always the combination of my father, which is he said you got to have fun while you're leading, or it gets to be a drag.
Sounds good. And how about you, Dr. Nybo?
Well, I have been a pastor for 20 years, and I appreciate knowing you through some of that as well. And what I began to realize 10 years ago is that the church has as much need of good leaders as any other organization. You still have staff that follow. You still have members that follow. And leaders are supposed to be caring for their people. The leaders are shepherds of their flock, if you want to put it that way. And that certainly resonates with me. And so I've worked hard to be the best leader, the best shepherd that I can be for both the members of the church, but also the staff. So my experience has been in large churches, 1,000 or more, and those are staffs usually of 30 to 100 people. So that's a lot. That's a real leadership team.
Wow, it's interesting to hear from both of you that there is this caring aspect with being a leader. It's almost contradictory to what's out there in the public. And I see why both of you are very successful in your chosen paths. Without that caring, it almost seems like the success really doesn't mean anything. What do you think about that, Ken?
Well, I think when you have a caring attitude, it means you're focused externally. All the leaders I've seen are a problem around the world, whether it's in government or business or wherever, is that they think leadership's all about them and all the brains are in their office. And so they'll be kind to people if they think they can get something back, but they don't recognize that every human being, as my mother always said, is a pearl of goodness in them. And
wow.
Dig and you'll find it. And I think being externally focused and the leadership is not about you, it's about the people you're trying to lead and help.
Wow. And so I can definitely see the things that are very similar between both of you gentlemen. And Dr. Nybo, with what Ken just shared, do you feel the similar way?
Well, absolutely. The thing I've begun to focus on is kindness. I've said, really, I've been in the kindness business for 20 years. Well, we'd like to think that, wouldn't we? We'd like to think that ordained ministers are some of the kindest people in the world. I hope that would be true. I don't know that it always is, but we should certainly be striving for it. And what that means is that it isn't about us. And you know, we follow Scripture, and Jesus was about others. And if we're going to follow him, we have to be about others.
Wow. Absolutely. You know, Ken, I read your book, Refire, Don't Retire. And I love the fact that it's about growing intellectually, spiritually, emotionally. And then Dr. Nybo, with your book, Moving Forwards, you know, letting go of the past so that you can accept the future and move forwards. I see a lot of parallels there, and one could almost be a precursor for the other, either way. How did you come up with that, Dr. Blanchard?
Well, I was on the phone when I turned 65 with Zig Ziglar, the old motivational expert.
Wow.
He was a buddy, and he invited Margie and I to the 59th anniversary of his 21st birthday. And I said, Ziggy, you going to retire? He said, there's no mention of it in the Bible, except for Jesus, Mary, and David, a couple of people. Nobody under 80 made an impact. I'm refiring, not retiring. And I thought, wow, what a great concept that is. And so I started telling people about refiring, and I happened to meet Mort Shavitz, who was heading up the psych department at UC San Diego, on a plane. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm refiring, and his eyes lit up like this because he was doing some research on aging, and he found out that the most happy people who get older are people who retire to something, not from something.
Makes
and
sense.
So we started to take a look at that, and one of the things I brought to the party is, if you remember when Jesus lost his parents in the temple when he was 12 years old, and finally they found him and went back, it said he went home with them, and he grew in knowledge, you know, which is intellect, in stature, which is physically, relationship with God spiritually, and relationship to man, which is about relationships, emotions. And that's a pretty good a cross-section of things you ought to take a look at, that you want to keep on refiring, because you can have your mind active like crazy, but if you don't take care of your body,
Right.
you know, you're going to be in trouble. And what about the relationships, the people? What are you doing about that? And then, you know, what are you doing about your spiritual well-being? So it really makes sense. And I think you've been talking, Neal, about moving forward and basically those kinds of things.
Sure. Well, it absolutely fits. I just heard recently somebody said, if you keep looking backwards, you're going to get a stiff neck. And, it's true. In your business, Dennis, and in ours, people get stiff necks, in your case, literally, and it's because oftentimes because they aren't willing to give up whatever it was in the past. And I imagine with Ken, who, by the way, can I just make an aside? When he says he was talking to Zig Ziglar,
yes,
this man has every person's phone number in his phone. It's unbelievable. Anytime he gets a phone call, it's somebody. I love it. I love talking to him. So you have to let go, and I love that retire idea. You can't just sit around drinking mint juleps and talking about the past.
Wait, what are mint juleps?
I don't even know, but
is.
I think that's what you drink when you retire.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right. Something to look forward to.
You know, I think that one of the reasons I got interested in what you're doing is that, you know, as I'm aging, I'm 78 now.
Young man.
If I'm going to, you know, work on my physical well-being, I need to take a look at that, you know, and I was starting to slump over, and you know, you end up like these old people, you know, get their head down. They're almost, you know, touching the ground with their heads, you know, and you know, you're really helping me, you know, straighten up and get some strength in my core and all that kind of thing. And so I have a whole health team, because intellectually I don't need a lot of help because I love to write and I'm keeping active on that. And relationship-wise, we're always having a lot of fun. And then spiritually, you know, getting to know Neal and working together, you know, as the interim kind of staff at our church. I mean, I was a wonderful spiritual growing, but the physical one is the one I'm kind of focusing on now.
And Deniz, I think, doesn't that fit with your whole premise of balance in life? It's all of those elements.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so any one of us could focus on one or two, but I love that Ken is focused on all of them. And sometimes you go find an expert to help you with them. And we both have found you, and we're working on different things that we're both trying to work on. But we might talk about this more, but the idea that people come to you, I know, and they come with their past, and they say, yes, but I did this, and I did that. And it's like, well, that's not working for you anymore. Stop doing that and do something new. So you've taught me that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all the compliments. And, I know that the way that you gentlemen have a passion and that caring is number one with your skill set, part of it probably from hard work and part of it God-given. But together, it's that synergistic approach that results in that permanent transformation that we're going to talk about. So we have a few seconds left in this segment. In our next segment, I want to go into a little more detail about the principles that you gentlemen have and how that relates to performance in life. All right, so this is Dr. Deniz with WSRadio.com, Performance in Motion. We'll be right back.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children.
After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.